Hurry up and get that divorce. Sasha is no longer into you anymore, okay? So please give up that seat at his side already and let me sit there. Huh? I had thought cheating with him all this time would have gotten you to leave him by now. But you are not letting go of him even after seeing his faithlessness towards you. I get that you want to continue being the wife of a CEO, but that seat is meant for me now. So is this really who my husband has been cheating on me with? Abigail? So you've been the one sending him home after he gets out of work covered in kisses made with red lipstick. And you've been putting all those pictures of you two together in my mailbox each week. I know about you and him being a thing very well now. Well then, why have you not divorced him for me yet? You've seen all those pictures of him loving up on me, right? Sasha's into me now, and he won't be letting me go. I want to hurry this up and get married to him, and I want him to start calling me his wife. Is that so? But even after telling me things like that, it's not going to make me just hand him over to you. It's not as simple as you think for a married couple to just call it quits like that. Huh? All you have to do is sign the dang divorce papers and then hand them in. That is so easy that a baby can do it. When it comes to there being a divorce over one of the two being unfaithful, there are a lot of steps added to the process. We have to talk about how to split the properties and about the settlement that'll come after. You are such a parasite. So you've just been worried about his money all this time? This is why he doesn't want you to be his wife anymore. Excuse me? Sasha is always going on about it. He gets so upset about how much of a leech you are, and talks about how whenever he brought up wanting to separate, you'd freak out and do everything to keep him around you. But I'm telling you, all that work you put in trying to keep him with you was actually pushing him away even faster. What do you mean I'm a parasite? You're telling me that he's been talking about me that way this whole time? He's always calling you a parasite. He says you are like a leech, a tick, even a tapeworm at times. I mean, he's not wrong though, right? In order to never allow him to get rid of you, you hang on tight to his fur coat, right? You never seem to want to listen to him, and he's had enough of it. Unlike with you, he actually wants me to be around him, but he can't do that yet when you are still clinging onto his back. Huh? I'm sorry, Jenny. I know that you've given all your effort to stay attached, but it's not going to work when he is a cute and young girl ready to take you out. He told me that he's going to get rid of you once and for all and then let me climb on him instead. So now that you're aware of that, just give up on him and go find another person to latch on to. And by the way, Sasha's coming over to my place tonight to stay until you're gone. Hey, Sasha, we need to talk. I've heard that you've been calling me a parasite now, correct?
Huh? What are you talking about now? I have a lot going on right now as the CEO of a company. Right now I'm in the middle of a very important meeting, right?
What important meeting? I know that you're on a date with the girl you've been cheating on me with is all.
What?
I have been getting a lot of crap from that other woman of yours for a while now. But I guess that's only natural from someone who thinks it's all right to take a married man away from his wife. I'm sure you thought you'd be able to hide all these secret dates from me by saying you have to work and all that crap, but I've been aware of you for a while now. Honestly, I wasn't that upset then, but today I learned that you've been calling me the parasite in this relationship. I am not going to let any of that slide now.
Hey, wait. How long have you known about Abigail and I?
I think it's been a bit over a year now. And I was just texting with her a couple minutes ago. She had something very important to tell me. And that was that she wanted me to hurry up and get divorced from you. She really wants to marry you soon, so she's wanting me to rush now.
What?
Now let me talk with you about all of this. Do you really plan on divorcing me and then getting remarried to that woman you've been cheating with? We have been married for 7 years now and have been a couple for 10. You plan to crumple those 10 years with me up and throw them away?
What do you want me to say? I don't have any use for an old used up hag like you anymore. Us men like to be around young, good-looking women all our lives. But I'm no exception to that.
Excuse me?
Also, you are the perfect example of a parasite. There's no merit to me being married to you any longer, and that's why I'm choosing to be with Abigail now.
What about me as a parasite to you, Sasha? I have been giving it my all to support you and your business by being at your side all this time as your wife.
Who cares about that? You're nothing like a wife to me, but rather a nasty little tick. I happen to have a company and loads of money at my disposal. And that's the only reason you've wanted to be so close to me, is so that you can get to all that money.
What?
I've been watching you work so hard for me, all in order to keep me from throwing you away. It's hilarious what lengths you've gone to as well. Not only will you help me with my business at times, but you do all the chores for me. When I get home, you give me those 2-hour massages I ask for, like you're afraid of losing me. You'll even go out in the middle of night to get food that I want from the store. I know that you've just been doing all that in order to stay on my skin, which means you're nothing more than a parasite to me.
You stop all that right now! You thought I was doing all of that stuff in order to keep me around you?
You sure were, weren't you? You know dang well that if I get rid of you, then you're doomed.
The reason I was doing all of that was in order to make you happy and keep our marriage life going. The reason I was giving you those messages and going out in the middle of the night to shop for you was all out of love. And the reason I did it all with a smile on my face is because if I looked upset about it, you'd flip. And then you'd go back to what you'd always told me in the past, and that is that if I didn't listen to the man of the house, you'd throw a fit, which you've done plenty of times now, like some spoiled child.
I have every right to throw a fit about it, though. I'm not going to just sit around and let a parasite get the better of me like that.
This is BS. I can see now that you have no room for discussion anymore. The only two responses I can get from you now is either calling me a parasite or getting upset with me over nothing. But I shouldn't be surprised by that since you already have another woman now.
Well, don't worry about me listening to you anymore, because this is over with. I don't need to have a parasite attached to me anymore, and Abigail has helped me realize that. And so, because of that, hurry up, get out of my face. And with this divorce, you better give me back all those shares you've got in my company.
What?
I gave you a whole lot of shares in my company in the past, right? You kept asking me over and over again to give them to you, so I did out of wanting to keep my own sanity. You're probably whining to me, so let you have some because you're a parasite, man. You wanted to make sure you had something to do with my company financially, in order to keep me from kicking you to the curb. Well, it doesn't work that way, Jenny. They have nothing to do with you being my wife.
You're joking, right? Do you have any idea why I have shares in your company right now?
In order to keep me from getting rid of you, right? What a freaking brainless woman. Thinking that some shares in my company would make me more open to having you as a wife long term.
I'm done with this. Sasha, you and I are through. I'll sign those divorce papers for you right now, and I'll hand you back those shares and whatever else you want.
Finishing this up now will help me out a bunch. Abigail has become a real pain in my neck recently, going on and on about how she wants to get married. I just never thought she'd actually start texting you about all of it, but I guess that just shows, well, how much she loves me.
That's right, she really wants to become the wife of a CEO. But in return for me allowing this divorce, I'd like you to be ready to pay me the settlement I'll be asking for from you.
Sure. I'll pay you whatever you ask for. I'm a CEO, after all, so it won't even bother me to fork over that kind of cash. Unlike you parasites, I actually happen to be very well off.
Hearing that from you, I'm a little relieved. Well, I'm going to get in touch with my lawyer and talk this over, and I'll send you the details later. And once you've gone ahead and sent me that money that I've asked for, I'll hand in the divorce papers.
Sounds perfect. You know that I'll be agreeing to the amount you ask for, so go ahead and get ready to hand in those papers.
Thank you so much for getting that divorce, Jenny. Because of that today, Sasha and I were able to hand in our marriage forms. Congratulations on your marriage. But be careful about having an even younger and more cute woman than yourself coming up from behind and stealing him from you. I'm sorry, but you're not going to scare me by saying things like that. Sasha is so into me. There's no way on this big green earth that he would ever take his eyes off me for another woman. That's quite the confidence you have there. Now let's get to business. You've already divorced Sasha now, so hurry it up and get out of that house. We were just able to hand in our marriage forms, but not being able to live together in that house yet is a bit annoying. What? That house that you're still sitting in right now is going to be our house starting today, yet you're still sitting in there and not bothering to get out. I am the wife of a CEO now, so tell me why I should still have to live in my tiny little apartment to make room for you to be in that house with him. Get a move on and get out of my mansion. From what it sounds like, you haven't been told everything by Sasha just yet, have you? Huh? What else was he supposed to tell me? Stop it with all this stupid talk and get the hell out of my house. He's already thrown you away and chosen the younger and cuter me to have as his wife, so a loser like you needs to get out of my mansion right now. Is it really that hard for a parasite like you to find a new host? I've already gone and sold that house. Huh? So when it comes to me moving out, I'm already at my new place. You have no right to sit there and tell me to leave when that mansion is no longer in my possession. Since you don't even seem to have a clue what's going on, try talking to Sasha about it before coming to me again. Wait a second, please. The mansion's been sold? You sold my mansion? The mansion where I was supposed to be loved by Sasha in? If I remember correctly, that mansion was never yours or Sasha's to begin with. I was given that house in the settlement that came with the divorce, so it was mine before selling it. I have every right to sell whatever's mine, and I don't have to tell you a thing about it. Huh? What the hell do you mean you got that place with the settlement? I was never told any of this by Sasha. And that's why I want you to go and talk to him right now. I don't care to explain it to you, so ask him. But Sasha's a CEO, and he is way too busy every day to explain things to me. Unlike you, who has all the time in the world as a lowly parasite. Now, you tell me, what the hell is going on? Really? Sasha's been telling me about this the whole time. He said that the moment he gets rid of you, he and I are going to move into a nice mansion. He got me all excited about the new life we'd have together after getting married, but now you're going to tell me he gave that mansion to you in a settlement? No, there is no way. But there was a way. I get it. You're just trying to bully me now, huh? You think so? Settlements normally only include money in them, right? You getting the house in the settlement and then selling it without my approval? That's all been done by you as a way of harassing me and my husband. You are the most scummy and toxic woman on this planet. Would you stop going on about whatever stupid misunderstanding you have? I never wanted a mansion or anything in the settlement, to be honest. But he didn't have enough money otherwise, so I had to make do getting the place from him. So he gave me whatever money he did have and then gave me the house as well to sell. Huh? You're telling me that he didn't have enough money to pay you and had to give up his house as well? What the hell are you going on about? He's a CEO. He has all the money in the world in his pockets. He's always going on about how he has all this money saved up and it's so much we could buy an island with it. Saying things is pretty easy to do. But it's actually proving said things that can be quite difficult. And in this case, he has nothing in his savings. The company that he's running has been in the red for a long time now, and he's got a lot of debt. And because of that, the only things he could give me was his pocket change and the house. Huh? Hold on. He has $0 in his savings, and his company is in debt? What the hell do you mean? He's made himself look like a competent CEO in front of you, right? In the past, I suppose he was one, but things have changed since then. A lot has happened. After his company took off, the money got to his head and he started messing around too much. And when that was happening, he would force all his employees to do the most insane things for his company. And after all of them started to leave his company, he was left on his own to try and fix the now dying business he once had. What? A lot of his employees tried to talk with him on a serious level about what had been going on. But he would never listen to them, instead talking back in a more aggressive tone, giving them no choice but to quit. So because of all that, he is now barely running a company that's completely in the red. But he is still a CEO, so you understand that all kinds of companies have debt at some point, right? He should know how to handle all that, right? It would be crazy for him not to know what to do. Right when his company was on the verge of going bankrupt, I saved it. I have actually been a holder of quite a large number of shares in his company, so I happen to have some weight in his company. Are you serious? When I started to realize that he had turned into a psycho when it came to managing his company, I stepped in and bought a ton more shares in his company to keep it above water. And ever since the first time I bought those shares, I've been doing my best to keep things going there. But of course, since he has no idea what's going on with his own company and is just fooling around all the time, he doesn't really know that I've been behind the scenes running the operation. When I did bring up the fact that I have a large portion of the shares in his company, he just started to call me a parasite and said he gave those all to me. What? I had really tried so hard to help his company continue on, but recently some very crazy things happened, and due to that, well, his company is right back on the slippery slope to hell. And all due to the fact that the woman he was cheating on me with thought it would be funny to brag about how she's been with my husband, that I'm a parasite to him. Since that first time you texted me about all that, I've become really tired and don't bother with Sasha's company anymore. No! Honestly, it's so funny to watch how deep in the red his company is falling. Everyone he still had working with him now is left. I felt bad that they were all leaving without any kind of money for it, so I've been giving them a check from the money I gained after selling the mansion. A lot of these people have worked for Sasha for a long time and deserve a package. So I'll use the money from their CEO to do just that. That's why he has nothing left then? It's all either gone to me to pay for the settlement or it's gone to the banks? Did you know, though, that in the divorce, he also asked me to give back the shares I had? It was so hilarious watching him learn about what was really happening at his company. I was pissing myself as his smile faded to a blank stare at the wall. Jenny, do you have any idea how much debt his company is still in right now? If it's just a small amount, then he'll be able to fix things, no problem, right? I'm sure that if he put a little more effort into it, he could become a competent CEO again, right? As of right now, he owes $6 million. He never paid any attention to the debt he was getting into and continued to borrow more and more money. $6 million? No way! How the hell could he get that deep into debt? Congratulations on becoming the wife of a CEO. It's rare to see someone marry a CEO who's about to lose their company and be stuck with $6 million worth of debt. You must really love Sasha for the man he is then. Huh? What the hell do you mean? Do you think it's funny congratulating me for this? I am not messing around anymore. This is not at all the life I was expecting after marrying him. Well, I'm going to go now, all right? You can both do something about this yourselves, okay?
Hey, Jenny, why the hell did you tell her about the truth?
Wow, it's been a bit since I last heard you calling my name. Normally you just talk to me without ever saying my actual name to me.
Right now, none of that matters. I want to know why you told Abigail about everything. Because of you, something major is happening that's going to really screw things up for me.
Huh? Why are you blaming me for your BS now? I wasn't the one texting me about how I needed to hurry up and get out of the mansion. So I had to teach her everything that was actually going on since someone else forgot to. It's your fault for not telling her the truth about yourself sooner, right?
I have no reason to be telling her things like that, though. She was looking forward to moving into a mansion this whole time. She'd go out every day and buy furniture that she thought would look good in the place. We talked for days and days about how we'd have the mansion set up and decorated. Yet during all her excitement, you went and told her you took the house and sold it.
I also made sure to tell her about your failing business. I'm sure she'd want to run away from a CEO who's in debt by millions and soon won't even have a company anymore.
Seriously? Why would you do this to me? She's running around right now getting all her things together to leave me. And she's getting ready to go out that door. It's only a matter of time. If this really does spell the end for us being a couple, it will be all your fault.
I don't give a crap, you jackass. This is what you get for fooling around with other women when you were supposed to focus on your company. And let's be honest, you only have one chance to get her to like you again, and that's by fixing your company's situation and making all that money back.
But all of that's your fault. You were the one that allowed my employees to leave the company without ever telling me. I went back into the office for the first time this year. There are only 2 people in there working.
And if you were to put a bit of effort into it and get that company back on its feet, then more people would want to work for you again. This is your time to show that you are a competent CEO. You're going to have to start stepping up your game if you want to impress those cute and young women around you. Hey, Jenny, you are the worst. You give me the money from the mansion you sold right now. Jesus frickin' Christ. The only reason I married Sasha is because I thought he'd be this super rich, good-looking CEO that I could ride on. But to learn that he's in terrible debt, he scammed me. He said there'd be a mansion for me and everything, but all of it's nowhere to be found. So I'm going to divorce him now and get the money I deserve from him. I was lied to and made the victim here, so I have the right to his money. That's true. He sure did lie to you about how he had all this money in his savings and everything. I can't say you're wrong for saying that he scammed you. I totally understand why you want to get a settlement from him. I'm sure you do. I have the right to get money because of all this. But you shouldn't be asking for that money from me. I think you're very wrong asking me for my money. Huh? How the hell am I supposed to get money from someone who doesn't have any? He doesn't have a house, a car, or any money now. So I would like you to give me some of that money you received for selling the mansion. So after stealing my husband, you want to take my money? You really are a bold little frick, aren't you? Shut up and just give me the money. You all are the worst people ever. I never thought that Sasha was that kind of horrible man. I even ended up ending the lease on my apartment thinking that I'd be moving into a huge house with him. Oh, you ended your lease? Well, then the both of you are more similar than I thought. You both now live homeless with no money to spare. I am not going to listen to you talking to me like that. Well, then turn off your phone. I'm telling you right now that I am nothing like him because I still have money. I did end up quitting my job, though, thinking I'd have myself a sugar daddy. But before I quit, I was working all the time and saving up. Wow, so you are a bit more serious about yourself than I thought. I happen to have $30,000 right now. It's amazing for someone in their early 20s to have that kind of money in savings, right? That is pretty amazing. But all that money is going to be coming to me now, right? So in the end, you and Sasha are very much alike. You both won't have a house or any money. What? I have to pay you? I still haven't gotten any money from you yet in that settlement. It was all your fault that my life with my husband ended up falling apart, right? So you're going to have to be responsible for what you've done. What? I'm sorry for making you get on your high horse there, bragging about your money. I really didn't know you had that kind of money on you. But it sure does make me feel happy knowing you do indeed have the money for me. I might not be getting the full amount I was going to ask for from you, but $30,000 will do. You're lying. Wait a sec. You already got money from both the house you sold and his pocket change, right? Yet you still want more money? That money was from Sasha, and I still would like my share from you. You both have to be responsible for your screw-ups. No way, that's not okay. I already got rid of my apartment, I don't have a job anymore, and now you're going to steal all of my savings? I'm not stealing anything from you. I just happen to have the right to your money is all. Now I would like you to start getting that money in order for when my lawyer contacts you. I was nice in letting you have my husband, right? So as a thank you for that, I'd like you to send me a present. Right after that, I went and spoke to my lawyer, letting him know that Abigail did indeed have the money for me and that I'd like $30,000 from her. I got a call soon after from her, screaming and crying in my ear, so I handed the phone over to my lawyer and let him have a word with her. And after a few hours, In one large transfer, I got all the money I had asked for. According to some rumors I've heard, Sasha was not going to let Abigail get away in a divorce, and made sure to drag him into his horrible situation of having to try and save his dead company. But in the end, those last 2 employees of his quit, and the company was just left to those 2. However, even with all the effort they put into trying to keep things going, they only sank deeper and deeper into the red. As of right now, I've heard that those 2 are still trying to fix things, but in order to do so, they have both had to stay in that office 24 hours a day, and are pretty much making it their home. When it comes to myself, I've taken all the money from both settlements and the house I sold and started a business of my own. I learned through Sasha's company that I was actually quite good at managing a business and thought this would be the perfect next step for me. I've already started hiring some of the people that used to work for Sasha, and I feel if things go well for me this year, I can start to live life as a CEO myself.
I feel so bad for your parents. Having to still care for their daughter even though she's well into being an adult now. At least start doing the chores or something there, Stacy.
Huh? You're saying all those things about me?
That's right. The high school dropout, stay-at-home loser should be the one to do the chores for them. You're old enough now where you definitely should not still be relying on your parents. I can't believe you're not embarrassed to live like you are now.
Calling me a high school dropout stay-at-home loser is pretty mean, Amanda. I get that I did in fact drop out, but I'm working a full-time job now, so I wouldn't be calling me a loser or anything like that.
I don't want to see you being treated by both your parents at their house any longer. You chose to live the life of a dropout, right? Yet all I hear are excuses and complaints that you can't find a good job because you have no education. Some people call the life you have getting what you asked for.
Amanda? For some reason I get the feeling that you may be confused by something. I never chose to drop out of school myself. My parents told me to stop going to high school, and so I had no other choice but to leave. But even with that happening to me, I've worked hard to find a job that suits me.
Stop lying to me like some kind of politician. I already know the real you after everything I've heard from your parents.
Huh?
They said that you hated to study and learn, so you chose to drop out on your own. And they followed up by telling me that you don't even work a full-time job, rather just some simple part-time job making barely anything. They even said that you jump jobs a lot, leaving you sitting at home between jobs as their little stay-at-home loser. You must really love being a parasite sucking on all that wealth that both your parents have, huh?
What are you talking about? You're saying that my parents said all of that about me?
They sure did. They are very worried about what'll happen to you after they've both passed away. And so they came to me crying to ask me what they should do about you. I never thought there were people in this world that were completely fine with making their parents suffer.
You have it all wrong, though, Amanda. Can you give me a chance to tell you my side of things?
I don't see any point in listening to some dropout speak to me. I hate low-life scum like you, Stacy. If you plan to keep living life without actually working for your own money, then I'm going to have to cut all ties I have with you.
What? I don't want my little brother and you to cut ties with me, though.
Well, I don't want my future to be ruined by you if you happen to start leeching off of me. If you don't want us to leave you, then it's time you go out and make a living yourself.
Hey, Mom! What have you made Amanda start thinking of me? Did you make her think that I was the one that chose to drop out of high school? And you made her think that I had no job and am some kind of a parasite? I can't believe you'd start telling so many lies to my sister-in-law for no good reason. Because I just got some nasty texts from Amanda about how upset she is with me. She told me to get a grip and to stop taking advantage of the two of you. But in reality, I'm working a great job, and if anything, I'm the one helping you both out the most. I'm the one that's literally supporting you and Dad right now, so what the hell is going on right now with all of you?
Oh, stop that. You don't have to be that upset with us. Your father and I both have to maintain an image ourselves, and so we had no other choice.
Huh?
You understand that we have to keep a good image as parents for others to see, right? And your little brother is married to a woman whose parents are both very high-class doctors. So your father and I would never tell her that our company had gone bankrupt a while back.
You really are such a vain person, Mom. You've always been trying to keep your reputation as the wife of some CEO even after his company fell apart. Most people already know that his company went bankrupt, yet you keep trying to hide it for some reason?
We are doing this for your brother as well, though. Having a wife that's family is full of amazing people while the husband's family is full of failures. If they were to find out about that, they would leave your brother in an instant. I'm hiding the truth from them for your brother's sake, as well as for our own.
I get what you're trying to say to me, but don't treat me like an idiot, okay? I know that you're just trying to maintain your guys' pride is all. It was your guys' fault, after all, that I had to drop out of high school, right? Yet somehow you thought it okay to say that it was all my own choice.
Are you trying to say it was our fault?
While the company was going under, you guys went and started to take all the money that was saved up for me to go to college. And because of that, there was no reason for me to continue on with school, especially when you both kept pulling me out of class to come home and help you both.
What are you talking about? That's just you saying that you gave up on staying in school. You still had the chance to do well in school and get a scholarship to go to college with.
And I would have tried my best to get a full-ride scholarship or something to a school of my choice. But you kept telling me that as a woman, I didn't need an education. You both told me that every day while asking me to leave school over and over again to come home and help you guys with that failing business. You would even get frustrated with me and start saying things like me valuing myself more than my own family. I had no choice but to drop out of school after constantly hearing that from the two of you.
Oh, we said things like that to you, did we? I don't remember saying anything like that, though.
In the end, I did as you both had asked of me and dropped out of high school. And then after Dad said I could work in his company to help it recover, he started paying me less than minimum wage. Really, I was better off finding a job of my own instead of wasting my time working for practically nothing.
Don't say such awful things like that, Stacy. We made sure that by having you work in the real world early, you'd become an even better employee than others your age. And besides, you were still living with us while working, so there was no need for you to get the same pay as others, as you didn't have to pay any living costs.
And that's why I saved whatever I could that I received and tried to get out of the house. Right when I was about to leave the house and find a job of my own to live on, you both fumbled the ball and let the company go under. Then you and Dad came running to me, crying and asking me to come home and help you guys out.
Well, that was a very tough time for all of us. We had tried our hardest to make things work in that company, but ended up still falling short in some places. And that all happened right when your brother was going to university. If it wasn't for you and the money you brought to us, we would have never been able to raise our boy well enough.
If you're trying to make it seem like you're thankful for me, why are you wrapping it in a bunch of bullcrap? You know that I've been the one supporting you and Dad ever since your company went bankrupt, so why can't you just be thankful for me and speak the truth?
Come on, Stacy. I want to say the truth, but we have to do this for your brother. We cannot allow your brother to look bad compared to his lovely wife, Amanda. If they knew that his parents weren't well off, they'd leave him in the dust. So please, be a good little girl and follow along in our lives to make your father and I look good.
What?
I'm thankful for you in the bottom of my heart. But when we were with Amanda, you were going to be that no-good high school dropout stay-at-home loser that we want her to believe you are. Stacy, I just made sure to put all of your things outside the house for you. Come here at some point today and get rid of all of it, okay? From now on, you're no longer going to be living here. Huh.
Wait, what? Why can't I live at my parents' house anymore?
Because I can't look at your poor parents any longer as they struggle to take care of you. And so, from now on, your brother and I are going to move in with your parents. So, we have to make sure that the high school dropout stay-at-home loser is out of this.
Excuse me?
I made sure to give you a warning a few weeks ago, right? I told you to get a grip and find a good job for yourself. And that you should stop causing your parents any more trouble than you already have. Yet you didn't listen to me at all, and have not found yourself any kind of proper work yet, just as I expected from a parasite. And so, we had to do something about you.
You're kidding me, right? So you've gone ahead and put all my things out in front of the house without asking first? Having to leave that house without any warning?
Your parents are so happy right now. Having the parasitic dropout out of their house has brought them all kinds of joy.
What?
And on top of that, their very successful son and his wife will be living together with them. I can't blame them for being so happy after finally having such a heavy weight lifted off their backs. Your brother works for a very good company, and I'm able to live perfectly as his housewife for the rest of my life.
You all really can only think about yourselves and nothing else then, huh? I've also told you plenty of times, Amanda, but I am seriously working a very good job right now. I even have the money to take care of that whole household without issue. Yet after everything I've done, I'm actually going to be kicked out of my own parents' home?
Come on now, Stacy, and stop with all that lying. I've never heard of any high school dropout getting a good enough job with any company. Trying to make yourself look good now by lying about some magical job that you don't have? Oh, this will only make things hurt worse for you.
I guess you really never will be able to listen to what I've had to say. I do think my parents are the worst for getting you to believe such lies, but you not even giving me the chance to explain everything to you is just insane.
I told you there's no point in me listening to whatever a dropout has to say about me. If I were to listen to you, my ears might just melt right off my head.
Excuse me?
Both of my parents are amazing doctors, and I'm their very well-off daughter. And since I have a husband now with a very good career, I cannot be bothered to be around some loser like you.
I see. No matter what I try and say, to you, I'm just a stupid high school dropout. And that's why you won't listen or give me a chance.
An embarrassment like you only has one job now, and that's to get lost. From now on, your very busy business-owning mom and dad will be taking care of your brother and I.
Good luck with my jobless parents, then.
Huh?
I have a lot to be upset about right now, but honestly, I'm relieved to be getting kicked out of that house. I'm finally set free from those two extremely selfish, unemployed parents of mine. Amanda, do your best with taking care of those two for me, okay? They really don't have anything to offer now that their company has been gone for years, but since you and my brother will be living with them now, I don't have to worry.
Their company is gone? Oh, wait, what do you mean they're jobless? His parents still have a company, right? I never heard anything about their company going bankrupt or anything.
That's because they worked really hard to hide that fact from you. So of course you wouldn't hear about any of it.
Wait, what do you mean they worked hard to hide it from me?
In reality, the both of them lost that company years ago. They had a hard time keeping that company afloat, and after a lot of near misses, they finally lost the company. And so right now, they've both been living each day pretty well thanks to the money I bring in. I've been the sole provider for those two this whole time, Amanda.
Huh? That cannot be real. Do you actually think I'd believe you telling me that their company went bankrupt when I've never heard a thing about this from them before?
Well, of course you won't, especially since my mom has been lying to you about it for a while now. So there's no way you could believe me right now.
And also, you're still a high school dropout, right? There's no way someone as low as you could ever take care of your parents as well as you make it seem. There's no way an idiot with no education could ever support two people on their own.
I didn't drop out of high school because I hated studying, you know. Because of my parents both being failures and crying to me all the time, I had to stop going.
Your parents' fault then?
Right when I was getting into my junior year, their company was in hot water. And out of nowhere, they took the money that had been saved up for me to go to college and put it into their company to keep it from going under. And so because of that, there was little hope of me going on, of course, with the addition of them both constantly asking me to help them. I just wasn't able to manage myself anymore and had to give in to their nonstop begging. But as for my brother, they told me that he needs to go to a good university since he's a man. And that's why he was able to get a college degree and all of that.
Wait, really?
And for me, I was left trying my best to help out in whatever way I could with my parents' company. Luckily, even though I wasn't earning much for helping them, I learned a lot about running a business and was able to start my own smaller company. So thankfully, I'm now able to make around $200,000 a year off of it.
$200,000. Yo, you're able to bring in that kind of money? Wait, I didn't even know that you had a whole company of your own now.
Well, I tried my best to explain all of that to you before. I said that I was working a good job. And I asked you to just listen to me over and over again, right?
Ugh.
But you chose to only believe in my mom's word without ever giving me a chance. And you had the idea that because I was a dropout, I couldn't amount to anything. But because of your blind faith in her, I was finally able to get out of their house, and I am so happy for it. I was getting very tired of having to give my time to the two of them.
Wait. You can't possibly be saying that, we'll be able to care for them. Having to live in the same house as two unemployed losers is not something I can do. They'll be the downfall of me, and I'll never be able to have my own life. I'm no longer going to live here with them. There's no way I'm living with people that have no money.
Oh?
I thought living with them would mean more money for me. Honestly, I had assumed that they'd pay for everything I wanted and needed. But that'll never happen now that they don't have a company to bring money in with. There's no merit to me living with them anymore now.
Amanda? You had been wanting to live with my parents so that they'd pay for all of your wants and needs? Even though they'd already be letting you live in the house with them?
What do you want? What's wrong with me having them pay for everything I need and want? Isn't it normal to have your parents paying for you when you're living with them? And I could use the money to help out my parents with their life right now. What's so wrong with that?
What? Your parents need help with their lives now too? Those two are doctors, right? So they should be bringing in a large amount of money for themselves. I have never heard of a doctor that doesn't make enough money to support themselves.
Huh?
Could this mean that your parents aren't actually doctors? There's no reason that you would have lied to all of us about that, right? I'm sure you and your parents are different from my selfish and self-centered ones.
Hey, how did you guess that? How did you come to the conclusion that my parents aren't doctors? How did you figure out that I've been lying to you? Are you some kind of investigator or something?
What? They aren't actually doctors then, so you have been lying to us all.
No, wait, that wasn't a lie. Wait, hold on, I never said they were real doctors, did I?
Can you calm down a little and clearly explain yourself? What was a lie and what was the truth? And can you tell me why you lied in the first place?
Well, because your brother told me that his parents both ran a company of their own? And since your dad was technically a CEO, I had no choice but to lie about my parents. I didn't want him to think poorly of me, so I accidentally started telling him that my parents were both doctors. But in reality, those two just work part-time at the supermarket.
Oh.
If he found out that they both were part-timers at the supermarket, I thought he'd give up on me and your parents would tell me I can't marry him. So that's why I kept my family a secret so that I could be married. But for a while now, I've been getting an allowance from the both of my parents to make it seem like they are rich. Around $500 a month to keep everyone from knowing the truth about them.
So you have really made your life tough on yourself. After lying about both of your parents and then having them pay you money every month to keep up the ruse?
That's why for a little while I kept the truth hidden and received some money from the two of them. But now they want me to repay them for that, and the amount they want to receive from me is huge. And since I can't keep paying them back as much as they've been asking, I planned on living with your parents to get some money from them. I wouldn't have to pay for living expenses, and they would even be able to hand my parents the money they need.
And so that's your reason for kicking out some dropout stay-at-home loser? You made it seem as though you were being a saint and saving my parents the trouble of having to deal with me, when really you just wanted to become the parasite that feeds off them.
But I never thought that your parents would be unemployed. I just hoped that I could at least get a little money from the both of them for living with them. What is wrong with the both of your parents? They hid all of that from me! They're the worst!
So you're saying that about them? You yourself lied about your parents so that you could get married to my brother and make it this far with him.
Well, I can be forgiven for my lies because they were necessary. I just needed to lie so that I'd be able to marry your brother. It was just a harmless lie, unlike the ones your parents have told.
No matter what the reason is a lie. But isn't this all great? Both of your guys' parents have been having trouble with money, so you don't have to worry about one's parents being better than the others. Now you can all relax and live together as a happy family. So as for caring for both my parents in that house, please and thank you.
Come back home, Stacy. I never thought that Amanda would have been the one to lie to all of us. What was she telling us when she said her parents were doctors? All they are, two part-time losers. I'm gonna have her divorce my son right now.
What? You're making her leave the family?
Of course I am. She lied to everyone about who her parents really were. But by doing that, we'll only be left with your brother in this house. And with the work he does and the money he makes, we won't have enough to live in this house. So that's why you need to come back to our house and help us.
No, he should be able to help you better than me, right? He was the one that went to an amazing university and got into a really nice company that pays him so well, right? He should be more than able to support you all with the money he makes.
Well, he's making less than we had all been led to believe. We thought he'd at least be making $100,000 a year at that company with the education he has. But he's only making a measly $50,000 for all three of us to try and live on.
Well, he only just started working there, so it makes sense he's not that high up yet. If anything, he's making just enough at his age with the education he has.
But with that kind of money, your father and I can't live our lives freely. When we had you, you'd give us $50,000 a year to spend on what all we wanted. But he said he can't do the same for us. He said if he works really hard, he could do $1,000 a month, but that's not enough.
Well, that's because you and Dad aren't economizing. Even though you lost that company years ago, you and Dad still live like you can both afford anything and do whatever you like. That's the whole reason I had to give you that $50,000 a year, is because you guys continued that costly lifestyle.
Hey, please, Stacy. Just come back to this house and bring everything back to the way it was. I'll apologize to you for everything that happened as long as you come back here.
Absolutely not. I am not going to ever give you guys any of my money ever again.
What?
And before you continue to think about trying to get me to come back, you might want to work on gathering all your things and getting out of there. Now that I'm not living there, I'm having the house sold.
Huh? You're gonna sell this house?
Did you forget about that? I'm the one that owns that house. When you both lost the company, the bank was going to take the house and everything as well, so I stepped in and bought the house from you.
Huh?
And I've paid off the rest of the house now, so I'm free to sell it. So you and Dad and everyone need to get out.
Yo, you're lying, right? Wait! You're going to sell this wonderful house that we've all lived in?
Well, if you had never thrown me out of the house, then this wouldn't have to be happening. But now that I've seen how you guys act, I have to do even the most heartbreaking of things. Along with this, I plan to cut ties to you all as well. And anything that has traces of you guys on it is going to be sold, like the house. I want to completely forget about you all and start a new life for myself.
What?
No matter what you have to say, it's too late. So I'll give you until the end of the week, okay? If you don't leave by then, expect the police or someone to come pick you all up. Immediately after that, my brother and Amanda got a divorce. And in Amanda's case, she had to go back to her parents, who were pissed that she got a divorce. And so they told her to find a job and start making all the money that she needs to pay them back for what they'd done for her. But in her selfish and stupid fashion, Amanda told them to shut up and that if only they had real jobs, she wouldn't have been divorced. And so right now, the three of them are living together in her parents' house while she tries her hardest to make whatever money she can. In my parents' case, they are still with my brother at a smaller house, relying on him to care for them. But unlike how things were when they got to have me taking care of them, my brother is a lot more straightforward and is asking them to find some kind of work to start making a little extra money. He then told them that if they don't, he'll have no choice but to kick them out. And because of that, both my parents are now working their hardest to find some kind of employment. But of course, this hasn't all happened without my mom texting me constantly to have me come back and help them. But every single time, I leave her texts on read and completely ignore her. Mom, where are you right now? We're getting ready to meet up right now.
No way. It's already time for that? Why didn't you tell me earlier to get ready to go there? This is why I'm always saying you're terrible at planning and should learn to actually do things on time.
You're the only person that ever says that about me.
Compared to your skills, your little sister Martha is always doing everything right. Honestly, I shouldn't even be comparing her to you, considering she is just so amazing.
I guess so. Now, how about you tell me where you're at?
Right now, I'm with Martha going shopping.
You've gone out shopping?
Martha has taken me out to get me something with her first paycheck. She really is such a loving and caring child, isn't she? I don't ever remember you doing anything like this for me when you got your first paycheck.
Well, if you want me to remind you, I went and took both you and Dad out for dinner with my first paycheck.
Did you really?
Anyway, none of that matters right now, Mom. Right now, we're all meeting up.
Well, I'm not going to make it.
What? You're not? What are you talking about, Mom? Your daughter is going to get married, and you're not going to come and see her fiancé's parents? How could you do something like that to me? I told you a while back about how this would be happening today and where we'd be meeting at, right?
Well, something that's impossible for me to get to is just not happening. I'm with your sister shopping right now, and I can't just leave her.
What? So you're just going to cancel on us then? My fiancé has made sure to get all his family here to see you. And his parents especially are very busy people, so it took a lot of effort for him to get them here today.
Your dad is going there, right?
Tell me why you didn't even come with him when he said it was time to leave.
Because I already made plans with your sister, and we planned to spend all day at the shopping mall, so I wasn't able to make it out to whatever you have planned.
So you're actually not coming today?
Well, I'm having too much fun with Martha now. I would never give all this fun I'm having with my super cute little girl today for anything.
Am I not your cute little girl as well, though?
What are you talking about, Esther? You fell far from the tree and are nothing like she is.
I can't believe that the person I call my mother would say something like that about me right now.
Well, you're not cute at all. Compared to you, Martha's like a little kitten just waiting to be played with.
I know you've been saying things like that about her all this time, and that she's always been your priority when it's come to literally everything. But come on now, Mom, I get it. You don't have to keep telling me how much cuter she is compared to me. By the way, shouldn't Martha be working today?
Working? How can you call yourself her older sister if you have no idea what she's been going on with her?
What? What do you mean by that?
Oh, she works on the weekdays and has the weekends off. How come you didn't already know that?
Wait, but she told me that she had work today, and that's why she couldn't come out to meet with my fiancé and his family.
Is that right?
So you're telling me that was a lie in order to get out of coming today?
Well, I'm sure she'd want a lie in order to evade that mess. You really think anyone wants to be part of what will be one of the most insignificant marriages on the planet? I know I don't want to be, so of course she's thought the same.
Are you kidding me?
Both myself and Martha are busy right now, and that means we really don't have the time to be thinking about you anymore. Are we done here?
I have always felt that you never seemed to care all too much about what was going on with me, even though I'm your daughter. But to think you'd go this far?
If you're going to have that wedding, then you'd better have it overseas or something.
Overseas? Why?
Because then I might actually be willing to go there for you. Of course, you'd still have to pay for me to come out there though. Both myself and Martha would come out to see your wedding and turn our time overseas into our little vacation as well.
We are planning to have the wedding in the States, though.
Well then, it better be gorgeous, or else we're not going. I'm going out of my way to go to a wedding like yours, so it better be fancy enough for myself to be there. Alright?
Why do you think we have to listen to what you want our wedding to be like when this is my fiancé's and mine?
Do you want me coming or not?
What the heck are you going on about, Mom?
If that wedding isn't the way I want it, then I'm not going.
What do you think you're doing staying away from your own daughter's wedding, though?
Good point. I'll ask my older sister to go in my place. How's that sound?
You're talking about Aunt Vicky?
The woman told me she'd stay single forever. So she has to have a lot of time on her hands, right? Why are all the oldest daughters and families like this? All of them are so useless and insignificant that the world might be better off without them.
I hope you'll apologize to all of us one day, Mom.
I'm sure right now she's even got nothing on her schedule. How about you call her and ask that she come to see your fiancé's family?
Do you really want me to do something like that? You would really want me to call Aunt Vicky and have her come in your place?
I don't care, to be honest with you. I don't care about you.
What the hell? Why would you even say something like that?
Because that's just how I feel about you. And now that you're aware, I'm going back to spending my day with Martha. You go ahead and do whatever it is you want without us. I'll let your dad know about this as well.
Hold on a sec. Mom!
Esther, you were meeting with your fiancé's family yesterday. Is your fiancé good looking at all? Where is he from and what does he do? Have you taken any pictures with him yet?
Martha, you had the day off work yesterday, huh?
Oh, did I not tell you that? I happen to work a job that has the weekends off. It's your average 9 to 5 kind of job after all. But the pay is pretty bad there, and I'm having to do all these things that I don't like, so I'm thinking of quitting it really soon.
Already?
Yesterday, I spoke with Mom about it, and she went ahead and told me that if I wanted to quit my job, I could do that and go right back home to her and Dad. I'm thinking of doing that here soon, for real.
Have you talked with Dad yet about going back to their house, though?
Well, Dad's never really around the house much, so why would he care? And since Mom is there all the time, I think she's the one that gets the final word. Dad's kind of just the ATM now, right?
So that's how you're gonna talk about Dad now? Wait. Before we get to that, let's talk about yesterday. If you knew that I'd asked you all to come meet with my fiancé and his family, why didn't you come?
Well, you never told me where to meet you at all.
That might have to do with the fact that when I had invited you the first time, you said you would work that day and wouldn't be able to make it.
Is that right? I must have looked at my calendar wrong or something. My bad.
You're bad.
Now tell me what your fiancé is like.
How about you come and see him at my wedding and you'll find out? Please. Then I can introduce him to you and everything.
When's the wedding?
We haven't settled on an exact date yet, but we're thinking in about 4 more months.
Wait, that late?
Well, we had been wondering for a while if we even wanted to have a wedding at all. But then finally, after some talking yesterday, we all agreed that it would be worth it. So we're looking for a place to have it at right now.
Well, if it's that far away still, I'm not sure what my schedule will be like yet, so I can't really say anything yet.
When we have a date, I'll make sure to tell you right away. Just make sure that in order to be at my wedding, to write that down on your schedule before anything else pops up.
Is there any reason for me to do something like that though? Is your wedding going to be overseas or something?
We plan to have it in the States.
Oh, what the heck? I was thinking that if you had it overseas, then I'd be able to go on vacation using your money. At least that's what I was thinking until you just told me you plan to have it in the US. Boring.
You really are just like Mom.
Mom said all this as well? How funny. I knew Mom and I were like 2 peas in a pod. 2 identical looking peas at that. And as you're probably aware, Mom has always loved me way more than she ever cared about you, right? It's like she's blinded by the love she has for me.
Seems that way. And because of that, my past is filled with some really terrible memories.
Terrible memories? Oh, don't be so dramatic, Esther.
Dramatic? All throughout both middle and high school, Mom would only ever get me clothes from the secondhand thrift stores. Yet when you went through middle and high school, she took you out to get all the latest fashion.
Now that you mention if she was always going into Facebook Marketplace as well to get your clothing and stuff, and half the time it was already stained.
And when it came to me wanting to go to college, my mom said I was only allowed to go to the local community college. But when it came to you, she said you could go anywhere you wanted and that she'd pay for all of it.
Did you want to go to an actual university or something? You should have asked Dad to help you with the tuition and all that then, if that's where you were looking to go.
Well, at the time I was going into college, Dad was away for a while due to work, and I couldn't really ask him for any help. All of that time, I had to deal with Mom and just hope that she didn't hate me too much to not let me go to college at all, or get myself a dorm room.
I think you're being too dramatic about all that. In my case, I was able to do whatever I wanted and get whatever I wanted when Dad was gone.
That's because you're Martha. The day you were born, I wasn't given any more new clothing, and Mom didn't even bother to get me any more toys. I'd end up getting the leftovers from people in our neighborhood or from our cousins. There were even some things that Mom got for you and you wore time and time again that she'd later give to me when you grew tired of wearing it.
Well, that's wonderful considering I have a perfect sense of fashion.
That is not the problem, Martha. I don't even want to talk about this right now. I really just want for you and Mom to come to my wedding and see my fiancé and his family, please. You both already skipped out on seeing them yesterday, so please just make time for the wedding when I tell you the date.
Alright. I'll think about it with Mom. If I'm able to go, then I'll go.
The wedding will most likely be on either Saturday or Sunday, so you won't have to worry about work either.
I'm not sure about that yet. By the time, I might have myself a different job. That's if I quit the job I have now, right?
Just know that when I have the date, I'll let you know about it so you can write it down.
Please go and do that for me. Hey, Esther. I'm going to go ahead and throw away all your things that are in your room.
What? Throw away all my things? What are you going on about, Mom?
Martha went and quit her job and will be coming home now, so I'm cleaning the house up for her right now. All those things in your room aren't necessary to you, right?
Are you talking about all of those books and albums I have in there still?
That's the stuff. Since Martha will be home now, I was thinking of taking your room and combining it with Martha's so that she has more space. Then she can live a bit more freely now that she's an adult. And as for part of your old room, I'd like to turn it into a walk-in closet for her so she can store all her nice clothing.
Hold on a second. So you're redoing the whole second floor of the house then? That house's second floor? That's going to take a lot of money to do, right? Is Dad all right with something like that?
As long as I tell him it's for Martha, he'll be fine with it. So can I toss all the stuff? Would that be wrong of me to do?
I will come and grab it all really soon here, so please leave it alone for me.
Make sure to come get it all today.
I have work today, and after work, I need to go handle some things for the wedding. I can't make it there today.
No, you come get it all today if you really want everything.
Come on now, Mom.
If you don't come and get it all before tonight, it's all going to the trash. Tomorrow is trash day, so I'd like it all to the curb before the truck comes.
Hold on a sec. I plan to use a lot of those photos I have in the albums for my wedding, all right? Do not throw those all away.
Nobody is going to even come to your wedding, so who cares about all these pictures you have? These pictures would all be going in the front of the wedding hall, right? For people to come and look at and see history of both of you and your fiancé. Well, nobody cares about you, so you'll be fine without the pictures. People only want to see Martha.
I just called Dad and told him to make sure to grab those photos and books for me.
You called your dad just then?
I realized that you weren't going to listen to me anymore, so I had to talk to him.
You really are the worst. It's because you do things like that that I don't want to go to your wedding.
What? So you really don't want to come to my wedding?
Jesus. I want all your crap out of the room right now so it's ready for when Martha gets here. Hurry up and grab all your garbage right now! I've already warned you once, and I won't do it again.
Hold your horses, please. Mom, what did you just mean by you don't want to come to my wedding? Are you really not going to come then? I've already told you the date and place for it, though.
I am much better off only thinking of Martha as my daughter now.
Are you being serious, Mom?
Well, of course I am. I have no idea why I was given such bad luck giving birth to a woman like you first.
I get that you like her more than me and think she's just the cutest, but I really never thought you'd go as far as to say things like that to me. Well, now I get it. I get what you really think of me. I am so sorry for forcing you to be my mom all this time.
So you're finally coming around to realizing just how little you mean to me? Oh, well, it's about dang time. Hopefully, that's going to make you a little bit more modest and stop you from talking to me all the time. Oh, I don't want to talk to someone who is nowhere as cute as their little sister. Hawaii is the best.
Hawaii? You're in Hawaii right now?
That's right. Now that I think about it, today is your wedding day, right? Well, today I've taken Martha with me on a little excursion. So we both won't be able to make it to your wedding.
What about Martha's job? How is she able to go with you when she has work?
Martha has been out of work for a long time now, ever since she quit her last job. So she's using her time off now to recharge.
To recharge?
This is her first time off to relax a little bit and recharge her batteries so that she can do even better next time. That's why I used some of the money from your dad to pay for this trip. It's also my way of saying thank you for her for buying me all those things with her first paycheck.
Is that so?
This excursion with Martha is far more important than being with you. I would much rather make these wonderful memories here, so count the two of us out of my ugly daughter's wedding.
I am not your daughter anymore, though.
What? What are you talking about, Esther? Oh, could this mean you're getting a little upset now that the fact is I won't be coming?
I have no reason to be upset over that. I'm just being honest.
Honest about what?
About how I'm not your daughter and you're not my mother. I mean, you had told me before that you were so unlucky to have me as your daughter, right?
I did say that.
That pretty much cemented the fact that you didn't need me anymore, right? You'd be better off without me as your daughter, right?
You have the right idea.
Therefore, I came to the conclusion that if I'm not going to be your daughter, then you're not going to be my mom. Meaning I no longer have a mother.
Wait, are you basically saying that you're cutting ties to me or something now?
Right on the mark.
Have you forgotten how thankful you should be for me, though, after all those years I gave having to raise you?
I actually resent all those years of having to live under your care, so please don't think I'd feel any thanks for you.
You really are such a terrible person. This is exactly the reason why I've never wanted to go to that wedding of yours.
Well, don't worry, because the wedding already happened last week.
Huh? You already had the wedding?
In the end, you never gave me a yes or a no on whether or not you'd come to the wedding, right? Martha also began to evade my questions towards her, so I decided that it'd be okay to change the date. It's not like either of you wanted to come anyway, so I thought it wouldn't really matter for either of you in the end.
Is that right? Well, you're right. I'm glad neither of us had to end up going to that waste of a time wedding.
That's too bad, actually. Because we had the wedding overseas like you had been wanting.
Excuse me?
That picture you just took and sent to me a second ago? In the background, you can see a really majestic-looking chapel, right? That's the place. That's where my fiancé and I had the wedding.
Wait a minute. You had your wedding at a place as gorgeous as that?
In your place, I made sure to invite Aunt Vicky. And she joined Dad in coming out to act as my parents during the whole thing. Of course, I paid for them all to be here as my family and guests. And considering that both Dad and Aunt Vicky have been doing so much for me, I made sure to get them both first-class seats on the flight over.
You hold it right there. Why did you not invite me out there but instead invited my older sister?
Well, because back in the day, when you'd only give me secondhand stained-up clothing, Aunt Vicky would hear about it and take me with her to go shopping. Ever since you decided you only cared about Martha, Aunt Vicky made sure to prioritize me so that I didn't get left out. To me, the person that resembled my mother the most was her.
With your money, you booked them first-class tickets to Hawaii? That is freaking unfair and mean of you. Why did you never tell me about your wedding?
The actual reason we had to change the date for our wedding like that was because of my fiancé's parents. Both of his parents happened to run a company, and since they had this major meeting in Japan on the day of the date we'd chosen before, we decided to move the wedding 1 week earlier. That way we'd all go out to Hawaii, and then after that they could continue to fly over to Japan and wouldn't have to hop around too much.
They both have a company? And they have to go to Japan for a meeting?
That's right. You didn't even come to meet them 4 months ago. All because you never cared about me, right? So there was no way you'd know about my fiancé's parents and their careers. Right now, my fiancé's parents happen to own a company that works in creating sweets that are produced in Belgium and are then sold in the US and in Japan.
So that means your fiancé will inherit the business one day?
I believe so. That's why, although I've paid to have Dad and Aunt Vicky come out, my fiancé's parents went and handled all the other expenses like the wedding and the hotels. They also felt bad about having to move the date for our wedding to a week earlier, so that's part of why they paid for everything regarding the wedding as well. But because they decided to do that for us, the wedding turned out even more gorgeous and fancy than we had originally planned, and it made for some amazing memories. I wish I could have had more guests there because it was all so magical.
What the hell?
Now, we need to get to some of the more important stuff here. Since you might want to change sides now after learning about my fiancé and his family, I think this is where I cut ties to you. That'll be fine for you though, right?
Cut ties to me?
Well, considering that Dad will divorce you and kick you out of his house, I'm afraid you might try to come and live with me. I wouldn't want you to start trying to take my fiancé and his parents' money, because that might start to upset them as well.
Wait, what's this about your dad divorcing me? What's going on here, Esther? I never heard anything about this.
When you get back from Hawaii, I'm sure he'll talk with you about it. Has he not sent you anything at all yet, though?
He had said he wanted to talk about something important, but I just assumed it was going to be about him going to another business trip or something.
You really have no interest in anything other than Martha and yourself then. Dad is no longer needing to go on any business trips or move out of state for years at a time anymore.
What?
He's moved higher up in the company now and is no longer asked to leave town for work.
Is that right?
And, well, Dad has been planning to divorce you now and sell the house.
But we only just got around to renovating the second floor.
In order to do that whole renovation, you used a lot of Dad's money without his permission, right? And that trip to Hawaii was also paid for with Dad's money. Really, you just take all of Dad's money and use it on whatever you and Martha want without asking him first. I think he's really grown tired of being like a bag of money to you and nothing else.
Wait, Esther, if he ends up divorcing me and we lose the house, what's going to happen to Martha and I? Martha doesn't have a job right now, and I've always been a housewife to your dad.
Well, it's time you start planning out what you both will do next.
There's no way we can start doing that all from Hawaii.
I'm sorry, but this is it from me. I'm cutting ties to the both of you now, so I won't ever talk to you or Martha again. And that also means I won't be helping you any.
No way. So you're just going to throw away your mom and little sister now?
How am I throwing you both away? I just said I was cutting ties is all.
That means you're pretty much throwing us away. Hey, Esther?
You have done so well so far with just Martha being the center point of your life, right? That should mean as long as you stick with and care for her, everything will be just fine for you both. You never needed someone like me around, so I'm going to stop being your older daughter once and for all. Bye-bye now. After getting back home from Hawaii, my dad went and got the divorce and kicked both Martha and my mom out of his house. The only money that my mom got in the divorce, as part of the split properties, was all that money she had used from my dad without ever asking. My dad told my mom that her taking Martha and herself to Hawaii with his money was the last straw, and what made him go for the divorce. Both Martha and my mom then went and tried asking my aunt and uncle for help after losing their home. However, everyone was already upset with those two for not coming to my wedding, but were also aware of the horrible way they treated me all the time, and so they turned Martha and my mom away. As of right now, those two have found themselves a super cheap apartment to live in as they try and figure out what to do next.
Hey, Zara! What is this I hear about you living in a fancy new condo building right about the metro stop? What happened? What kind of tricks did you use to land such an amazing place to live?
I didn't use any kind of trick, thank you very much. I pay for that place and so I get to live in it. It really is just that simple.
But what I want to know is how you can afford to pay the rent in such a place like that. I just happened to be out in the city doing some shopping when I saw you go into that huge condo building. At first I thought I must have been seeing things, but it was really you. I'm sure of it.
Well, that would make sense considering the fact that I'm living there now. I told you earlier about how I was going to be getting married to my boyfriend, right? Well, we did that, and we moved into this place to live together.
So then you've been living there since you got married? And does that mean that it's your boyfriend who makes you enough money to let you live there? That's amazing! I had no idea about any of this.
What do you mean?
I mean, how did a shabby basic girl like you land such a great guy? I could only ever see you getting with someone on your level, but instead you managed to find a guy rich and nice enough to let you live in a big condo with him. Just how did you find a guy like that?
Okay, Mom, you really need to calm down for just a little bit. First of all, it isn't my husband who's paying for this place. I am.
Oh, please. Do you think I'm going to buy that? You've always been such a fussy girl and you never even went to college. Do you really think I'm going to believe that you can afford to rent at a place like that?
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
You've always been such a difficult girl to deal with, ever since you were little. Do you know that? I was ready to send you to any of the best schools in the country, but you said that you wanted to start working already, and so you did, just that after high school. But I said, fine, just as long as you live at home until you earn some savings. But then you just moved out and never came back. Do you have any idea how worried I was when you hardly ever called me? And now the only reason I know when you're living now is just by complete chance.
You really haven't changed at all, have you, Mom? It's clear that you've already made up your mind about what's going on in my life, and I don't see the point in saying anything more.
I just want to know how my no-good daughter ended up with such a good man. It sounds to me like you would have been better off marrying someone like your little sister, Rita.
Excuse me? Did you really just say that?
Well, Rita is nothing like you. She was actually a good girl and very easy to deal with. Not to mention the fact that she would actually listen to me and went to college when I offered it to her. And now she's my pride and joy who works for one of the largest companies in the country. If only she could find a man just as good as she is, then things would be perfect.
Oh, so you mean that your perfect other daughter still hasn't found a man? Maybe you should just find one for her since you handed Rita everything on a silver platter. I'm sure she'd love to get married to whatever man you picked out for her.
I bet you think you're so clever talking to me like that. Well, you just wait until I do find a man for your sister. Because it's obvious to me that I can't count on you for anything. It's no wonder you'll never be truly happy.
Hey, Zara, is everything okay? Mom is grumbling about you a lot more than usual today, and I was wondering if something happened between you two.
Yes, we had a talk. More like a fight, but I'm used to it now. Is Mom really making that big of a deal of it back at the house?
Well, she's stomping around and slamming things on the table and kind of just acting like a big baby. And earlier she asked me if I wanted to find a boyfriend, and then she showed me all these pictures of guys who I guess she's ready to try and set me up with. She said something about having to one-up you and get married quickly. Well, she said she wanted me to find a better husband than you as fast as I could. Can you believe that?
Oh, jeez. Mom really needs to learn to chill out sometimes. I wonder if she even realizes how she sounds saying those sorts of things.
But I also heard from Mom that you and your husband have moved into this really cool condo building. I think that might have been what set it off for Mom. Not only did she not know you were married, but you married rich and didn't tell her.
Well, I'm sorry that you're always getting sucked into this drama between Mom and I. I always feel bad for how much trouble I've probably caused you with all of this.
Zara, I really don't think that you have anything to apologize for at all. In fact, if anything, I'm the one who should be worrying about you. I mean, I know you two are already legally married, but are you sure that you want to have your wedding be just the two of you?
Well, I don't really think that Mom would even want to come to something like that. And if I just invited you and Dad, then it would be a mess for everyone involved. I've already explained about our family to my husband, and he says that he understands, and it's okay doing a tiny wedding with just us.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure with you. But in that case, I'll swing by sometime soon, and with your wedding presents, of course. Plus, I want to see this huge condo that you're living in.
Yes, please. You have to come and see it. We're pretty busy still unpacking since we literally just moved in, but once we've got some of that done, I'd love for you to come see it. You and your boyfriend are welcome to come in here at any time.
I can't wait! Just let me know when is a good time to come over, okay? We have to have a little party to celebrate a new house and a wedding soon.
Hello, Zara. I have something that I'd like to talk to you about, and I'm wondering if now is a good time.
Hello, Mom. This is a weird way for you to start a conversation with me, but okay. What's up?
You really just want to cut right to the chase, don't you? Okay then. Zara, I want you to let Rita marry your fiancé. It's clear to me that whoever this guy is, he's a better match for Rita than he is you.
You want me to let Rita marry my fiancé? You can't be serious about that.
I'm afraid that I'm very serious, Zara. I have been searching all month for a man for Rita, but still haven't found one. But then I realized that I already know someone who knows a man with a good background and who makes much money. You were just holding him for your sister this whole time, weren't you?
You really think that I'm gonna go along with a word of what you're saying right now?
Well, of course you are. In fact, after doing some looking around, I think I do remember meeting this man of yours. Even I don't remember him at all that well. I'm pretty sure that he wasn't a fatty, and I believe he also went to a pretty good school too.
I suppose both of those things are true, yes.
Plus, he must be young and have enough money to afford living in a luxury condo, so I just know he'd be perfect for Rita.
Mom, you do know that Rita's already engaged to be married, right?
Wait, what? What do you mean? How dare you try and bring your little sister down to your rotten level? Unlike you, Rita understands that I'm always right about whatever I say. There's no way that she would be like you and just not tell me she was engaged.
Do you really think that Rita's some kind of mindless drone who just follows orders? And do you really think it's okay to force your kids to go to a college they don't want to go and work in a field that they dislike?
You have no idea what you're talking about. It's the job of a good parent to guide their children to success.
That's not what I think is happening here.
Well, that explains why you are the way you are. But if a child wants to grow up into a happy adult, then they need to do everything that their parents tell them to. And if they don't, then they end up like a problem child like you. That's why I tell people that I only have one daughter, and it's Rita.
I see, so you don't even think of me as your daughter anymore.
Of course not. And I also don't think that you should be with a guy as good as you are. You didn't go to college, and now you're just marrying rich to get out of having to find a real job. I'm sure that whoever this man is, he'll regret being with you very soon.
And just what makes you think that, huh?
Let me guess. After you two got married, you quit whatever little part-time job you had just to be a housewife. And now you're just lying around doing nothing all day while your husband is doing all the hard work. I just know that there isn't a man alive who can stand being with a woman who acts like that. That's why it's better for everyone involved if you just hand him over to your sister.
Hold on a second, just why do you think that I'm not working and living off of my husband? Do you even realize how hurtful some of these assumptions are?
Do you really think I care about how you feel when it comes to any of this? The only thing I care about right now is making sure that my real daughter is happy. And I know that she won't be happy until she has a husband who's as good as she is. That's why you need to give up your man for her.
I don't even know why I bother wasting my time when you're not going to listen. Although I just have to say that I can't believe you would literally try to steal one daughter's groom to give to another.
Well, if you don't want me to take him from you, then you better just give him up. A no-good brat like you doesn't deserve to have someone so great.
Actually, my husband did graduate near the top of his class at a great university, but he certainly isn't rich. So I don't understand why you think I married him for something that he doesn't have. Although if you really want, I guess I can just do what you say and hand him over.
Wait a minute. What do you mean he isn't rich? He's paying for you both to live in that huge condo. He must make a ton of money.
I told you already that I'm the one who pays for the condo. Meanwhile, he works as a freelancer, and the amount of money he brings in can really depend on the month. So that's why I pay the rent and utilities.
You have got to be kidding me.
In exchange, he takes care of all the housework for us. We have a really good thing set up, and our relationship isn't just based on money. So I wish you would stop trying to make this about money.
You have got to be lying to me. If he really went to a good school, then how could he not make that much money? You've always been a little liar ever since you were little, and you're doing it again now. You're the one who doesn't make that much money. I know it. You're just lying because you don't want me to take away your man. You really are a terrible daughter, do you know that?
I told you that you wouldn't believe me no matter what I said. But okay, why don't you try searching my name online and see what comes up? I assume it wouldn't be hard to find the business that I'm running as well as my picture on the board of directors page. Maybe that'll make you finally believe what I'm telling you.
Hold on a second. You're managing a company? Someone who doesn't even have a college degree is running a company?
Well, it's actually always been my dream to be a company president ever since I was little. But you said that that wasn't a good job for a woman to have, and you never really showed me any support. That's why after I graduated high school, I wanted to go out and get some real-life experience. Luckily, I found a job in my field and used that as a jumping-off point to build my career. And now I run a company and live in a huge condo.
This has got to be some sort of sick joke, right?
Told you 3 times now that I'm the one who's paying the rent. So I'll keep the house, but if you really want my freelancer, I guess I can hand him over to Rita. She might even be happy to finally be getting married.
Wait a minute. That means that this man isn't a good fit for Rita at all. He might have a good education, but if he doesn't make money, then all of that will cause trouble for Rita in the future.
But unlike me, Rita is brilliant, remember? She's your pride and joy and only daughter you admit to having. She doesn't need a man to provide for her, don't you think? Anyways, I'll tell my man that he needs to start packing his bags, I guess.
Zara, oh my gosh, you totally took me by surprise. I mean, your husband was just in my house and told me that he'd come to marry me. You should have messaged me sooner so I knew that this was all a prank. It took me a while to figure out what was actually going on.
Oh man, I'm really sorry, but that's too funny. But you're right, I was at work and I couldn't give you a call, so I'm sorry about that. I knew you'd be able to figure it out on your own though, so I wasn't worried.
Well, you're lucky I caught on, because I talked to Fred and then I told Mom I was moving out. I told her we were going to get married, but we're just waiting in a cafe now.
You mean you went along with it? Thank you so much, Rita.
You don't need to thank me. I actually use this to my advantage as well, you know.
Oh really? How'd you do that?
Well, this was finally my excuse to move out of the house. So I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to have to borrow your husband for a little while longer. He's going to help me make it, so I move out of Mom's place permanently.
You mean you really want to move out?
I've wanted to. For a long, long time, actually. But, you know, Mom, she would never allow it. She was always so worried something that would happen to me if I left the house by myself. I tried asking Dad to talk some sense into Mom, but she wasn't having any of it.
I had no idea she'd gotten that bad.
But now, this is my chance to finally escape. And you already told her that Fred is a freelancer and that you own a condo, right? I bet that means that Mom is going to be really against me marrying this guy. I'm going to use that guy as my ticket out of here.
You mean you're really going to run off with my husband for a while?
Well, I'm going to let Mom think until she gives up. Even though she'll be against the wedding, I'll tell her that we're madly in love and that we're eloping far away.
Well, it doesn't sound like the worst idea I've ever heard. In fact, knowing how sensitive Mum is about her reputation, I'm sure that she wouldn't tell a soul about this, given how scandalous it all sounds. If there's anything you want me to do to make it more convincing, just let me know.
I'll tell Mom that we're eloping, and as soon as I find a place to live, I'll give Fred back to you. So hopefully this won't take more than a day or two.
If that's how long you need him for, then you've got him. Maybe the 3 of us can meet up and look for a place for you. My work's finally settling down, and I think I should be able to get some time off.
That would be amazing if you could help me. I'll send you the address for the cafe. Just look for Fred and I. Zara, what are we going to do? Your sister has run off and she hasn't come back. She told me that she was going to marry your fiancé and then ran off. And that was yesterday.
I guess Rita isn't the good, obedient girl you thought she was.
I don't know what's gotten into her. We can't let her marry this man. It'll be horrible for her. You have to get a hold of her and tell her that I made a mistake in choosing him for her. She said that she fell in love with Fred at first sight, and I think they ran off to get married.
Wow, so things move pretty quickly for them, I guess. I never knew that Rita was that kind of girl.
This isn't the time to be joking. We have to do something.
I think that you should probably just respect the wishes of your daughter and let her have this, don't you think?
What are you talking about? Don't you know how embarrassing it will be for me to tell people my golden girl ran off with her sister's fiancé?
Well, I guess I'm glad you have your priorities straight.
You don't understand. All my neighbors just love Rita and talk about what an amazing girl she is. How am I supposed to face them now?
But isn't the happiness of your favorite daughter more important than anything else?
I got it. How about you come here to live with me and then I tell everyone how amazing my other daughter is?
Yeah, no, that sounds like a horrible decision for me. Besides, you already made it very clear to me that you didn't think of me as your daughter. And now, thanks to your meddling in our lives, you've lost both your daughters. Send Dad my love. In the end, Rita never came back, and Mom only became more ashamed of what had happened. She stopped talking to all her neighbors, and even stopped leaving the house. Rita and I explained the truth of what happened to our dad and asked him to keep our secret. He understood and agreed. And after that, Fred and I were finally able to have our tiny wedding. Meanwhile, Rita is living her dream of an independent life and was overjoyed at the realization that she would get to decorate her apartment however she liked.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.